The movie starts with a sweeping view of space, focusing on the distant red planet, Mars. Suddenly, rockets emerge from the planet's surface, one after another, forming an armada heading towards Earth. The scene shifts to a typical forest on Earth, where in the dead of night, three friends, two boys and a girl, are cycling through the woods. They are on a quest to find a meteorite that reportedly landed nearby. With a navigator in hand, they search for their destination. As they explore, one of the boys, Herbert, notices something peculiar in the bushes. Intrigued, he leaves his friends behind to investigate. He ventures into the bushes, expecting to find something extraordinary, but instead finds nothing out of the ordinary. Just as he turns to leave, his friends playfully sneak up on him. As the group continues their quest for the meteorite, Herbert makes an intriguing discovery. He excitedly shares a videotape with his friends, revealing his theory about the existence of Martians and the possibility of an alien invasion, just like in an old Tim Burton film. With their navigator's battery depleted, the trio decides to spend the night at Herbert's nearby home. However, just as they turn to leave, a strange creature emerges from the darkness. This creature, glowing with a mysterious green light, possesses tentacles that evoke a distant connection to both the mythical Cthulhu and the beloved Dr. Zoidberg. Unbeknownst to the friends, this otherworldly being has appeared right before their departure. The next morning, Hannah captures a playful moment on film as Herbert teases their sleeping friend, Ogilvy. Herbert receives a request from his mother to visit his family, but he is hesitant to engage in conversation with them. Hannah, sensing his discomfort, offers him comfort and support as he becomes upset over a disagreement with his mother. Together, they head downstairs to enjoy a comforting pancake breakfast. Meanwhile, the astronomy students learn exciting news: a report of a meteorite landing nearby. The curious stargazers quickly jump on their bikes and speed off to the site where everyone is gathered. There's already a big crowd around a huge, weird-looking rock that fell from the sky. Hannah, always clever, suggests they go around the back way to get a closer look without the police shooing them away. The officers hadn't thought to block off the whole area, so the friends carefully make their way down to where the space rock is resting. Excited and brave, they reach out their hands to touch the meteorite, not worried about any space germs. They're all curious until Ogilvy touches it and gets a little burn. Oops! After filming the strange rock, they realize it's not just any old rock from space, it's a special one. Inside, they see a weird-looking creature, like a mutant octopus, hiding in there. Hannah thinks they should leave, but Herbert is super fascinated, staring at the alien until it disappears again. On their way out, a police officer spots them. Luckily, the officer just tells them to wait for their teacher, Dr. Stint, who is their science guide from school. The teacher, Dr. Stint, is far from surprised to find the students at the site. After all, they always seem to be around whenever something fascinating falls from space. Herbert, however, expresses concern, feeling that the occupants of the meteorite might not be the friendliest of aliens, and his worries prove to be well-founded. Suddenly, the space device opens, and a massive creature emerges, a being with 3 long legs and tentacles. It shoots a beam of fire, incinerating people nearby who are fleeing in panic. The students, hiding and recording the events, capture footage of this alien walker as it strides by, oblivious to their presence. Once the coast is clear, the young astronomers hop on their bikes and make their way into town. Their eyes are drawn to the sky, where a trail of black smoke signals the arrival of yet another capsule descending for a landing. Back at their house, the students observe Air Force fighters approaching the aliens. On television, a man claims that the falling rocks are a divine punishment. Dr. Stint, now serving in the military, advises against attempting contact with the aliens. Trained individuals will handle it. When trying to reach their families, the students realize the communication lines are down. Herbert suspects the invaders are from Mars. Consequently, they opt to remain at home and enjoy a traditional British tea. Later, Hannah spots someone hiding in the garden. To their surprise, it's Ben, a British artillery soldier. Seeking refuge, Herbert welcomes him in. Ben informs them that the invaders have overwhelmed the army. After having some whiskey to feel better, Ben cleans up and tells a remarkable story of how he survived by sheer luck. He stumbled and fell while the aliens attacked. The young ones wonder if the military will intervene, but Ben advises them to leave. Herbert, eager to find his mother, suggests using walkie-talkies to stay in touch. Using the walkie-talkies, Ben reaches out to his superiors, who also urge them to get away as more aliens arrive. After stocking up on food, they all set out on their bikes, noticing planes in the sky. Ben contacts the bunker to get updates, but it's grim news. An alien tripod is already wreaking havoc in the city with its deadly weapon. On their journey, they encounter a military patrol who inform them that civilians are being evacuated and advise against personally searching for relatives. The students and Ben reach the evacuation base where a line of survivors is waiting. During the registration process, it's revealed that Herbert's last name is Wells, which somehow implicates him in the situation. Ben uses his connections to help them get a spot on a boat. On board, they witness a flock of birds flying over the forest before a Martian tripod appears and starts its destructive activity. Although the military initially defeats the enemy, their celebration is short-lived as another wave of alien vehicles approaches. The humans quickly retreat from the battlefield, but the Martians burn out tanks and helicopters, preventing any chance of fighting back. While fleeing, Hannah trips and loses consciousness. Her friends carry her to safety in the woods, and she wakes up after dark. They then return to the boat and row toward London. Along the way, they witness burning cities on the horizon, a grim reminder of the Martian occupation. Exhausted, the group comes ashore to seek shelter. In the woods, they encounter a peculiar man who claims to be a news reporter turned priest. He is very pessimistic, calling the invasion the end of the world and God's punishment that will wipe out humanity. The Reverend preaches a sermon which annoys the group. Herbert asks for directions, not wanting to delve into theological debates. The students leave, but the strange man, refusing to admit he's delusional, follows them, promising salvation for all. They arrive at a house and find abandoned supplies inside, suggesting the owner left quickly. While sharing the supplies, Ogilvy argues with the priest and insults him, making the priest grab a knife. Herbert tries to stop him, but the priest punches him instead of turning the other cheek. Holding the knife to Herbert's throat, the priest wonders what to do before letting him go. Ogilvy suggests leaving, but the priest insists they stay as their fate isn't decided yet. They sit silently at the table, feeling awkward. Meanwhile, the mad preacher lights a candle and offers Hannah bread, calling her the weaker sex. He hints at repopulating the planet, saying he can't trust inferior seed with such an important task. As the second bottle of wine emptied, Herbert pondered what had led the father to forsake his Christian beliefs. In response, the father confessed to feeling a closer connection to God than ever before. Before retiring for the night, the priest humorously warned Herbert not to disturb him, jesting about engraving a new commandment on them with a knife. The night crept by with a sense of unease. When Herbert rose for water, his gaze remained fixed on the slumbering figure on the couch. He approached cautiously, intending to retrieve his knife, but a sudden noise outside diverted his attention. The students glimpsed a tripod outside the window passing by, yet leaving behind a lingering sense of danger. Upon awakening, the priest brandished a knife and invoked divine punishment. Despite the students' pleas for calm, he remained resolute in his fervent sermon, fixated on God's will. The serenity of the night shattered when a black tentacle appeared at the window, snatching the priest away. As the tentacle returned for its remaining prey, the students hid, trembling with fear. Finding no one, the alien tentacle retreated, leaving the students shaken but unharmed. In the morning light, Ben reached out to his friends over the radio, exchanging coordinates for their rendezvous. As they ventured through the desolate streets, they couldn't help but notice the strange red grass weaving its way around the abandoned houses. Hannah speculated that perhaps the aliens were terraforming the planet to suit their own needs. Emerging into the safety of the familiar forest, the astronomers caught sight of a signal atop a nearby hill, initially mistaken for a sun glare. To their surprise, it was Ben, the artilleryman, who greeted them warmly and guided them to his makeshift camp, a solitary hut fashioned from twigs, sticks, and other found materials. Ben recounted the ongoing alien invasion, describing the relentless onslaught faced by human forces. With defeat after defeat, military leaders proposed the drastic measure of retreating underground, akin to the Morlocks of lore or the survivors of Metro 2033. Despite his previous struggles against the rogue priest, Herbert harbors a fervent desire to patriotically fight off the invaders. Even though he couldn't handle the priest alone, he's determined to rally his friends to the cause. Ben, with his colleagues, shares the dire situation unfolding across the country, prompting the students to wait anxiously in the woods. As Ogilvy tinkers with grenades and Hannah uplifts a distraught Herbert, he feels the weight of the circumstances, urging him to devise a plan. With resolve, he proposes they uncover the aliens' motives for abducting people. Encouraging his comrades to join him on this daring mission, Herbert leads them toward the nearest landing site. Amidst the chaos of tripods roaming the streets of of London, incinerating everything in their path with deadly beams. The sight would drive any sane person to despair. Yet, fueled by optimism and determination, the astronomers and warriors press on, their eyes gleaming with hope despite the grim reality before them. As humans sneak through the empty streets, they hide behind big statues to stay safe from the big machines. The team keeps going until they find one of the big ships that look like falling stars. Herbert and Hannah want to see what's inside, so they sneak closer under the trees. They see the big machines unloading something into the ship, which is full of weird eggs where the aliens live. When Hannah tells Ben what she sees, the aliens grab Ogilvy. Ben quickly tries to save him by shooting at the machine with his gun, but the machine doesn't care about the small bullets. It turns and grabs Ogilvy with its long arm. Ogilvy doesn't give up. He takes out a grenade, pulls the pin, and makes the machine explode. The explosion breaks the machine and frees Ogilvy. He's okay, and his friends find him safe and sound. The three of them run for their lives, unable to even mourn Ben's death. Another big machine chases them, shooting fire beams in their direction. They find cover under a bridge, hiding from the machine's watchful eye. Hannah suggests they seek refuge in the sewers. In the dark, damp dungeon of the sewers, the friends argue about how long they should stay hidden. Ogilvy doesn't want to stay underground for too long, sparking a brief disagreement that Hannah quickly resolves. As they wait through the night, the students ponder how much the world might change by the time they emerge. When morning comes, an eerie silence hangs overhead. Cautiously, the students climb out of the sewers, scanning the area anxiously. To their relief, no tripods can be seen patrolling nearby. The astronomers stumble upon a bush of mysterious red grass, its vitality fading. Nearby lies a small mutant octopus-like creature, motionless on the ground. Cautiously, the friends throw rocks at it before approaching, discovering the tripod from which the alien emerged before succumbing to death. Suddenly, Dr. Stint appears with the military, explaining that the alien invaders fell victim to Earth's viruses and bacteria, their immune systems unprepared for our planet's microbes. Herbert receives a radio call informing him that his mother has been rescued by the military and is being sent home. With joyous relief, the friends hop into a car and drive off. A voiceover recounts how Earth's germs defeated the invading army and their offspring, but as the film concludes, a tentacle unexpectedly sprouts from one of the alien eggs, hinting at an uncertain future.